matter. All lives matter. Black lives matter. Why are you so... Do you know yes, it does. There's a whole difference between all lives matter and black lives matter. Yeah, all lives matter is bad because people care about black lives. Black people knew their lives mattered. I do. You stood up. You stand up and tell them that they know.
And they killed themselves for black crime the highest. I don't feel hurt. But
why is that?
Because blacks hate each other? I don't know. Why? Oh, because the police made that black guy kill that black guy. Police.
There is a whole system that started. It's a history. It's because of things that are ingrained into our society. Yeah.
Lyndon B. Johnson, right? The social state. Again, you need to read more.
I read
Okay,
it.
why is black on black crime so high? The social state.
Let me speak. Black on black crime is an issue because of the deep-rooted problems of America.
And why do you think that's happened? Because of Democratic leaders like Lyndon B. Johnson. You need to read up on post-World War II.
Parties switched? Did you know that?
Actually, that's a fallacy.
And I'm not a fucking Democrat,
That's a fallacy
dude. I'm
of the
not a Democrat.
90s.
No, it's not a fallacy.
It
I'm
is.
not a Democrat.
It is.
I don't support Joe Biden. I'm not a fucking Democrat, dude.
The fact that you even talk about the switch tells me you are so wrapped up in liberal propaganda.
It tells me that you are wrapped up in conspiracy theories.
Again, give me one book that you've read.
James Baldwin's books.
Yeah, yeah, you've given me these off the cuff left wing groups.
You don't know who James Baldwin is? What the fuck? He's like famous. He's a black author. He's fucking famous. You don't know who James Baldwin is? We read his books in school.
Do you remember what the percentage of black people is in America?
13.
And what percentage of crime is committed by black people?
13, 15. Now
Do you know?
We've already been through this, dude.
Yeah,
the
again.
reason there is black on black crime is because of
You're out here.
Are you gonna let me speak? Are you gonna let me speak?
Answer my question.
Are you gonna let me? I already did it
You
earlier.
did. What's the percentage of crime? What is the percentage
I
of
have to
crime?
yell because these dudes are fucking talking
What's the
over me.
percentage of crime?
I've already had this conversation with
What
you,
is
dude.
it? What
I
is
have
it?
already had this conversation.
What
with
is
you.
it?
I don't want to have this conversation.
You don't know.
No, I want to talk about things that.
No. So my point is this earlier. I said if you're going to come out here and you're going to
I
try
know
to...
my shit.
Yeah, you don't.
You know your shit.
You don't.
You won't let me speak.
You don't.
You don't know your
Yes,
shit.
I do.
You don't.
What do you know?
Did you graduate yet? You think so?
So what I saw was basically what Nate just said, but the interesting fact of it is the man who they actually took down had a different view. He actually got up and they hugged it out, and they all said that he has a right to be here in freedom of speech. Yeah. I know a lot of these people who are patriots, if they went and did that downtown Portland, that they would get attacked and chased out.
Yeah.
This man who got, they pushed him down, he said he had to pull a few drinks. He actually thanked them because of the fact he had some drinks and, hey, you guys are probably stopping me from getting more violent. So he actually thanked the guy.
He admitted, he had enough to admission to admit that he was like, I was a little bit over, I'm a little bit over the line.
Right.
I saw most of it. I interviewed that guy, and then I interviewed some of the Proud Boys that were right there with it. So what I gathered, he was a little bit drunk, and he was just kind of getting rowdy, and he was putting his hands on people, like putting his arm around, kind of Black Rebel style, just like putting arms on people, and people didn't like that, so they grabbed him and controlled him. It got a little scuffly. He fell to the ground while they were trying to separate him from the crowd.
As soon as people start like invading people's personal space and touching on people, that's when shit goes south immediately.
I think I was concerned that he was having like a heat stroke event, because he just wasn't. I interviewed him. He was really confused while I was interviewing him. So the alcohol, the heat, and that might have been having an
And plus,
mental
getting
effect.
rattled when shit's about to start popping. I get
Hi,
it.
how you doing?
This is Bill in Phoenix.
Bill Phoenix, how you doing?
Oh,
State sanctioned violence is still violence.
yeah, of course.
Yeah?
Are you guys talking about the guy who got tackled?
Yeah.
I feel like
Did you see the whole thing? I kind of saw it
I
as
was
it.
like right
He
there.
was terrified, you said.
Yeah, I was scared for him, not on my own behalf, but it looked really serious. I don't want any of these events to break out into violence.
Oh, yeah.
That's not what I stand for at all.
Thank you. I think we're
good.
all in agreement on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, of
This whole
course.
group is. Well, I speak to these streamers and you. We're very against the violence breaking out. We'd like it to resolve unviolently.
Yeah, I feel like that guy was speaking in defense of teenagers here, myself among them. and like people were like waving flags in our face and like screaming over us and just
Yeah.
totally in our personal space.
And in your defense, I spoke. My phone died and it wasn't on my stream, but I shouted at a couple people because
Yeah.
there were some grown men getting a little bit too intense in you guys' face.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
When you got 50-year-old people like
Yeah.
getting in your face, and when you guys are teenagers, I don't.
Sorry that happened to you. I know. Like,
That's not the high road.
I know some of the teenagers were like shouting
Yeah.
nasty things at people, but even in that situation, I don't think it's good for a grown man to get in a teenager's face and try to intimidate them. So I saw a little bit of that, and I shouted out to kind of stop that. And
Yeah.
so sorry if that you had any of that.
I don't feel like a victim to
Yeah.
that, but I still like seeing the situation was like kind of unnerving. I mean, like
It could have got ugly, but
Yeah.
at the same time, as much as I'm like speaking about for me, as much as I'm a fly on the wall, just observing and filming, I'm not gonna let anybody get curb stomped on the ground. You know, when it gets real
Yeah.
crazy, I will get up and stop it. You know, 'cause it's not. I'm not gonna sit there and watch it and go, "Ooh, cool! Look, I'm filming this guy get his ass handed." It's just not gonna happen.
That's the conservative Christian thing, though, right? We don't like to see that happen to anyone.
Yeah.
So I got a question for you. You sound very balanced. You don't sound like very far on one side or the other, but your sign says it's kind of a sign that I would assume was like the protester side, the Antifa side, the Black Lives Matter sign. But then you're talking about peace, and what are you out here
I
for?
don't identify with Antifa, and my sign is pro peace. I'm saying that like
I'm sorry. Did you say you do or do not identify?
I don't.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
But
We deal with a lot of very, very unbalanced people, so I'm just trying to like see who I'm talking to, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of people want to attack us just for filming.
I mean, I support the Black Lives Matter movement, of
All right.
course. My sign, it's just holding police like accountable. For,
Yeah.
like,
I'm actually, I'm for that too.
Yeah.
I don't think it's to the extent that the rioters are making it out to be, but I think there can be some police reform.
Yeah, and I just think that like if we're going to like be out here and like support the police, I feel like it's like to care about the police department is to care about the betterment of it. And like if there's like unnecessary violence, like stuff like just like I don't know, excessive force. Like this one's like really like overstated, but like Breonna Taylor's murder. Like 4 cops, I believe, like broke into her apartment without a warrant and then shot her. To, like,
They had a warrant, but it was a no-knock warrant, and they said they knocked anyway, which makes me
Yeah,
suspicious.
thank you,
And the
thank
fact that there's of all the research I've done so far, I haven't seen any utterance of body cameras or anything. So you got a no-knock warrant, and you got nothing documented with body. I mean, that's pretty brazen to do a high-risk raid like that.
I haven't looked
And then
into it too specifically yet. Let me ask you this.
one of those things will come out, and a lot of those things end up coming out in the trial. You know, when the
Yeah.
media kind of runs around and focuses on things that may or may not be available. You know.
Did you see the like initial police report on like what happened?
No, and I honestly can't. I'm only just now getting familiar with the story, to be honest. I'm a little late to the
I
game.
haven't looked into it too deeply
Yeah.
yet, but I have been under the impression that she was dating a gangster, and she was sleeping at his house, and they were raiding his house, and she got caught in the crossfire.
I heard it was her house, and she was dating this guy, but she was receiving packages for somebody else at that address that was under the scrutiny of law enforcement. But she herself had no previous criminal record, was like, I think a registered nurse or something, like working healthcare or something along those lines. And so when the speculation where people don't know if she picked up the gun and fired, you know, or he did, because she was the only one that was hit, but yet he had the gun, which seems concerning. So hopefully the truth will come out for the trial
I
and
think we
stuff.
can all agree that we don't have the whole story.
Exactly, and that's the part of the media. Everybody reacts based on what the media reports initially, and that's what plays out. And then after the fact, they find out the details that where people would have been nice to have that stuff introductory before all the public outcry happens.
Say anything until
Exactly.
we can trace the facts. I
Yeah.
think that's the biggest thing.
This could have been doctored, but I don't know. I believe I witnessed the initial police report on Breonna Taylor, and it's just completely blank.
Yeah.
They were omitting so many details. I mean, I feel like
Yeah, one thing they haven't. I mean, it's like in going through. I mean, for me, trying to rely on the media to get the information is hard because you're never gonna, because all the media has their agenda. But they're selling controversy first versus truth second. You know what I mean? They want the attention first, and whatever gets the most attention is what they kind of lean towards. So, unfortunately, until the details, one thing that good forensic police investigation should be is that they could tell who fired a gun usually. They do forensic swabs and stuff to find out who fired the gun. I haven't seen any mention or utterance of that in relation to what happened with that situation.
Look how long it takes to come out with the body cameras for George Floyd.
Oh yeah.
Now when you see that, it's still what happened there was not. Have you seen like the body cam?
Yeah, I've seen the
So what happened there with that man? It was not right. That cop should go to trial.
That was like horrifying.
Yeah.
But he was not an innocent man just walking down the street.
Yeah,
He's a
that
career
too,
criminal. He didn't just get in the car. He wasn't compliant. And there's some people like even saying maybe he started to have a heart attack before they even took him down.
The bottom line is that there's it's below the standard of human decency to be treated the way he was. So you can go into his criminal record. You can make him out as a saint. You can make him out as a sinner. It doesn't. There's a certain standard of human decency that everybody needs to be treated at, and that's below that, the way they treated him.
I think most everybody agrees on that.
Exactly. I would have argued that most cops, 99% of the cops, would look at that and go, "That's horrible. That's not good policy."
That guy should be in
yeah,
jail or
exactly. And a lot of cops are angered by what because it makes all cops look bad.
Look what that incident did to this whole country.
Oh yeah, the
That's
division.
a shame to me. Hey, young lady, I just want to say, like, we're different or whatever, but I appreciate because I deal with a
they're
lot
awesome.
of BLM people, and you are sitting here having a reasonable conversation, and that's the only way that we can get anything taken care of. So, can I, God bless you, all right? Keep talking, keep talking.
Nothing gets accomplished by yelling.
No, and you being able to be here and sensible and talk, I mean, this is how it all peace starts.
I've been filming protests like 4 years, and it's people get so emotionally charged they can't even have a discussion and stuff. And you
There's
kept
so much like political division that I understand why people are angry.
and people go back and forth. When I kind of watch it from a distance, it very much seems to me that there's a lot more common ground that people have together, and they immediately assume they're taking the opposing viewpoints.
You want to go riders?
It is what it is.
You want to go riders for a beer? Somebody's going for a beer.
How are you? It is, and I'll tell you, I'm blessed that I've got myself